Dear cool people, thank you for supporting the community center's request for funding. Pizza oven's on its way. The West End renovation has a verbal okay from the Division of Fire Safety, and work has begun. Thank you also for 30 years of support, the plowing, the mowing, and partnerships on projects. We're sincerely the community together. There you go, Chris. Thank you.
We went up the other night, my sister come up, wanted to go to some thing they were having in the green. Yep, this is weird. Apparently, whoever the band members were, a couple of them were sick. Never put a sign up already.
Okay.
I thought that was kind of weird, but okay, guys. Wound up going over to Phoenix House.
I gotta go there. I still haven't been up to that place.
It's not bad. It's not crazily priced. I remember talking to Dennis one day, he said something about the border open. He says, we really don't care. He said, locals have supported us through this whole thing. And it's locals that fill us up. So he said, I'm not offering, money at par or any of that crap. He says, they want to come down, great. If they don't, he said, we're doing fine without them.
Always hold some sand, huh?
Yes, they've been hauling pretty steadily. And then I think I've seen Wright's truck in there a couple times.
Yep, I've seen them coming through town.
Can I make a motion to approve the minutes?
See if that's farm or not. No, fire up.
Somebody second that?
We'll just wait and see. No, it's not gone.
I didn't hear from them. I don't
Yep, would someone second that motion?
Yep.
Is there anything you want to amend, change, or move on? If there isn't, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone against? I guess they're all accepted. Right at it, Lynn?
Just got off a spinning bike, took a quick shower.
Well, that was
Good
thoughtful.
update.
How's my wife not home yet?
She wasn't at the same spinning class I was at. Mo's with
Maybe I should be asking her about this.
So is Mo not coming, you said?
He's still with his grandchildren.
Yeah, he said he wasn't sure he was gonna make it or not.
I just saw him, he's there. And I got nothing, I just came to give you guys dessert. Unless you got anything for me, any questions?
Not that I'm aware of right off. Anyone got questions for Melinda's present?
Hey, do you care that I'm not gonna be there tomorrow Wednesday?
No, I don't care, I just threw it out there because it's a new tabulator and it is a little, the functions are a little different, so.
Can you teach me on the fly?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I guess we need to sing right along.
I like that.
Town administrator report. Keep it brief.
Oh, it will be.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
Thank you for the community center, you all heard that. The energy audit is scheduled with Energy Co-op of Vermont for Thursday, April 27th. That's the earliest they could get us
Did
in.
you see it?
Went from March to April. At 9 a.m. and they said it'll take between 4 and 6 hours, and I'll give you way later more information on that when we get closer. We received the grant agreement for North Road, the $56,000 project that's happening this summer by Bruce and Patrick Brandon's property. And I do need a motion to approve the grant agreement with V-Trans for the project in the amount of $56,000 for the Culver project.
Okay, so the wording would be what, you need a motion to.
I gotta put them back in the freezer if you're not gonna take them.
Oh, this is crazy. Thank you.
That kind of stress on top of this meeting?
Wow.
Oh my gosh, those are ice cream.
I make a motion that we
Eat the
approve,
cookies first.
we accept the grant of $56,000 for V-Trans.
Approve the grant agreement with V-Trans for
I'll take
the
them later.
$56,000.
Okay, they're in the freezer.
Okay, thank you.
Isn't that what we did last?
We didn't make a motion and I can't sign it without you guys getting the motion.
So, we'll make a motion.
56,000?
You did?
For the
Somebody second it?
project.
I'll second.
Everybody in favor of? No one opposed? She goes.
Awesome.
You want to take over, Tom?
No.
Good. Good.
We have a temporary easement for that project already drafted, and will need to be signed by the property owner with a notary, so that's coming along. The Jouer Road Bridge, we're not gonna be starting this, the North Road Bridge for a few weeks still. We wanna make sure we get all of our ducks in a row.
Thank you.
And I think probably Mo will give you more of an update on that in the next meeting. The Jouer Road, project is well underway. We have it's started up anyway. The temporary bridge is almost completely in. Well, that was as of Friday, so it may be completely in at this point.
It's all in.
Is it?
All in, those guardrails are up.
Yeah, so we're ready, I think we're ready to go with that project. Stantec has been amazing to work with, by the way, they're an inspector, they're thorough and,
What about the in-kind match tracking?
yeah, so I keep track of all my hours in the notebook. That was something that, Jonathan told me to do day one, so I have this really messy notebook, but since you brought that up, I've been cleaning it up to make sure that it's clear.
What you worried about in kind for the town trucks, for the guys and stuff?
That is actually all on the timesheets, so any of the information, every time they give us the timesheets, and you can see it in the package, they break it up into what vehicle they were using, because that cost can also be recouped, and who was using it, and their.
How are we tracking that though? I know it's on the time sheet.
Yeah, so once we have the timesheet, it goes into for the grant part of it, we scan the timesheet, it goes into the system, and then there's a spreadsheet that I keep track of.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has to happen as it's going, because otherwise it'll get too far behind.
Do we know if that new truck's been delivered yet?
It has not been delivered. Last time we checked, it was in New York. And I asked Mo about it this morning. He said he was gonna call him before he leaves. He's going on vacation, or he's going away Wednesday. He said he was gonna call him before he leaves.
Just so we know they get it,
Mm-hmm.
get started on the other part of it, Viking and all that.
Yeah.
So there's a slot.
Time's coming.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that one thing we're gonna keep track of.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Jouer Road, the traffic control plan is approved, it's going in, all is well over there. Both of our contractors are really great, I feel very confident in them. So we had the project meeting about the pavilion slab being poured, and getting ready for the, I'm just gonna give this to you. Jim Cameron pulled us together for a pre-construction meeting. The slab will be poured on the 8th. They're gonna start pouring it or get it done on the 8th.
I thought we don't need to be involved in all the pre-construction
No.
meetings.
Well, there was
You
just the
shouldn't be
one.
wasting
That's
your
like
time.
the only meeting that I've been to. So I agree. I don't want to be involved. There has been.
Right,
There
this is
was
pretty
a
much your
glitch.
baby.
Yep, let them deal with it, we write the check, pay the bills for them, but
There was
You've
a
got your
glitch that I
hands
was
full.
involved with, but I think it's gonna be fine. So these are, if you want, I just brought the minutes from that meeting if you're interested. Our paving is complete, and Pike Industries did invoice us, and you'll see that in the AP, so if you've driven
This-
around. Yeah, go ahead.
Does someone, I noticed the check and the invoice, does Mo do the inspection for like, to inspect the work that was performed and make sure there's no?
Yeah, that's his job, and he won't, he's actually, there have been a few times where he's come in and he's looked at something and thought, I'm not gonna sign this yet, and he goes out and makes sure that things are right and, that it's accurate, so he's pretty
Good.
on top of that, I found.
It seems like they did a nice job on it, especially one time before when we did that, we had a problem with the edges. And they had that taken care of the day they were doing paving. We used that gizmo there for a broom, put the material on the edge and then boomed it right off and packed it. Did a nice job.
Yeah, I don't know about Main Street, but going up towards the barn, I thought they were going to go farther without apron, but.
Right, I did too. I was so
I thought you were
surprised.
right.
I went up and checked that one day just to see what the heck it was,
But it did help some, I mean, I wasn't here this week with a heavy rain Thursday, but the one this morning, it didn't seem to wash down like it generally does into the. So
Right, I thought it was going up a few hundred more feet,
Yeah.
but it works
And
apparently.
maybe, I think I heard him say something about that was money wise, so.
Yeah, it could have been exactly what they stopped when they ran out of money.
That's possible. We actually, so that line, I did bring the budget, you had asked if we could do this once a month.
Just
So,
to know where we were.
yeah, so this is, and the two of you weren't here when I went over the whole thing, a few months ago, it's really, or it was a month ago. There's not a lot of change except for the fact that we paid that big, paving bill, and, that is going to hit us. We did go over on that one. But, it's all the same with this AP, it's gonna be reflected in the next, so I brought these for you, if you'd like to look at them, and we can talk about it today or next week. Maybe next
How we
week.
tracking, how you're feeling, we good?
Yeah, we're in a good place, I mean, more, it's the same conversation, really, it comes down to, we're paying too much in heat and fuel, but that's going down, so that's good.
That's the one we're gonna run over the most time.
Yeah, that's what I see. We expect one more payment of $53,000 in November from V-Trans. At this point, that will be the last payment, so when you look on the first page in our revenue under state aid, we will be getting more than we expected, so that's good. 53,176 is what we see our final payment being in November.
So 20,000 more, 21,000 more roughly.
Yeah.
How much did the paving go over?
That is on page. In the back.
193, I think we budgeted 150.
Yes. So it's on page 7, halfway down, it says paving project. We budgeted 155 and it came to over 193,000.
We had some money left in the paving account.
There is a paving account. If you'd like me to use some of that money for this purchase, I would just need your approval because it's in a separate CD.
How much is in there, do you recall?
I think
40
it's
something.
40 or 7, I have to look.
I was just thinking, you're gonna
We
be,
didn't use it all last year.
right, I mean, we're gonna be running behind on that fuel. That's what, to me, this paving account should go towards
Yeah.
paying that off, so we got
Well,
something.
and it'll be over on sand.
Right, so,
I can bring the amount and the maturity date for that CD into our next meeting if you'd like. Or I can go run and get it right now.
we could do it next meeting, just, I'm just thinking to keep ourselves from getting cash short.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we figured we would use it this year, you know, I mean, that was,
Cause those two projects had to be done as one.
If there's 40 in there, it'll cover what we went over here,
Yeah, I
so.
think there's more than 40, but, you know, this year, things get used up pretty quickly, prices of things.
You wanna make a motion that when the note matures,
We could do it that way also, just make it, when it matures, use that to fund.
or if there's no penalty, I mean, I don't
Right.
like to.
There is a penalty for the CDs that we have. I'm not sure what it is, but I think that most of them are maturing in August, so it's soon.
Why don't we just wait till then?
Yeah.
Oh, and then we'll know exactly. Probably our next meeting, though, we better bring it up, discuss it again.
Okay.
Yeah, why don't you bring the amount next meeting, that way
Yeah, we'll know
Okay.
what
we know
we're
what we're
working with.
doing.
Exactly.
What the maturity date or the penalty if it does come out early, if we have to.
Put a little bit of interest they're paying on them. It's-
Yeah, I mean, that's what I said, but a little bit, they,
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. I'm not sure exactly what happened on page 2. I need to touch base with Mo about that one. There's a landfill expense down at the bottom. It's 10-6, 10-46. We've gone over on the landfill costs, and I'm not really sure how that happened, so I need to do a little research on that one.
Are they dumping culverts when they change them?
Tires. I'm sure that's what that's all about. You
Yeah.
know, they, clean up day, they had 2 truckloads of
Yeah.
Yeah,
tires.
green up
Yep.
day was huge this year.
You know, culverts, they should get money for that, or at least not have to pay,
Right,
they should
steel.
take them to
Yeah.
Hodges.
Yeah, but they're taking out plastic ones.
Right.
They got a thing.
But I know they had.
You know, it's like those tires when they charge to take them, they should just put the fee onto the tires as part of it, and then they don't worry about people taking them and dumping them by the roadside.
Yeah.
You know, I think most of them are $6 now to get rid of them. It's not
Oh.
what
Yeah.
they're paying.
Well, we're looking at this. Have we got our forest lease yet? That's gonna
That
be due.
income came in, I noticed on page 1. I think it's on page 1.
Yes, 10/5,
Or it's-
25,
Yeah, it came in.
71. But we received that payment.
I didn't get that receipt, that's a cash receipt that would be through, Linda.
Right, but you should post it, right? You should know,
It's, say that one more time.
you should know if we got it or not. though.
It is, it is actually, that's the actual 12,974 is how
Okay.
much we've received on that lease
Okay.
this
Is
year.
that just going into general fund?
It just, yeah, it goes into general.
What was that on, Dave?
What number are you on?
10-5,
First
00,
page,
25-71.
about 6 up,
Yeah, it's
under
just
forest
about
lease.
logging.
Right.
Was that for?
Sure,
Yeah,
taps, right?
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many taps is it?
Should be 60 something hundred. $2 a tap, if I remember, wasn't
2 or 250, cause he was.
it? He wanted
generous.
it, cause it hitched on to all of his other stuff. Thought it was a generous rent, the trees that were there.
The town administrator line, you, I'm sure realize we'll go over a little, with the changes we've made to contracts at this time. So we had, that's on page 3 of 8. The town administrator line was scheduled for 56,300. We're at 70% of that at this point, and, so that's gonna go over. All the way through, we talked about this, I mentioned this in the last meeting, but all the way through, there have been no repairs and maintenance, that, for all of the town properties. So municipal building has a repair and maintenance budget of 4,000. We've spent a little bit of that for this, but capital improvements of this town office was at 10,000, and we haven't spent any money on that. So we're very, and then, you know, for each of the, other buildings, there's,
That's interesting.
repairs and maintenance, and, we're just really low on that.
At one time, Linda and them were talking about wanting to change the tile in the main office.
The tile in the main office is,
I mean, that was something we talked about
seems
doing.
like it should
And if we ever
happen.
got any quotes on it, or?
I can get a quote on that if you would.
Well, we put that in there, and our big thing was to maintain these buildings, because they're a nice set of buildings in good shape.
Yeah,
Last year,
because
did we
they
do a
need
bunch of painting and stuff to try to keep?
Carpets.
And we didn't do carpet, we decided not to do that.
I think we're gonna wash them, right? Or
We-
shampoo them.
We had it lined up at the end of the year to lot, it didn't happen, so I can do it this year if you want.
Yeah, might as well keep it maintained.
Okay, so we'll get that done.
See, I mean, I would try shampooing if it don't come out, but.
Yeah, then we switch them.
Okay.
But the office is tile, right? Main office.
That's all, yeah, and
And
it's
it's
very
crappy.
worn and
It's getting
cracked,
worn.
it's cracked and chipped in places, so.
I mean, that's what everybody walks into. so.
Yeah. Cause this building's what, 20 years old, right?
Is he really?
Yeah, 2002.
Holy cow.
Sounds right, that's when I built my house.
That's it, we're lucky, 20 years. all the municipal buildings have been replaced and paid for.
There is one other thing that I noticed a few times. There is, and I took a picture because it seems like something you're gonna want to fix. The gutter out front, when all the water pours off out of that gutter, it goes into a very big pool of water. It stays there for quite a while. It doesn't seem to drain. I don't know what the drainage is under there. It drains out
This is
of
by
the
the
top.
front door.
Just right by the
Is the gutter broken there?
it's old, it's rusty, I don't think it's perfectly.
Well, Dave,
This-
Timmy and them had worked 2 or 3 times, it fell apart because of the ice.
Oh, okay, because I thought last year we had somebody fix it, or somebody was supposed to go fix it.
It's rusty on the right, like if you're going out.
Well,
on
the first year, we didn't have any snow guards up there, did we?
I don't know if they got enough, you know, there, I mean, right in that corner, that's the worst thing, you get all the ice and
Oh, yeah.
freeze in and.
Yeah.
But I know one time it fell, remember it fell apart?
Yeah, it came
Just-
apart, and he put it, I mean, something we may have to put a new gutter up.
I mean, that seems, I think a very good idea.
Cause I think it was
I can't
supposed to
find
go
the
down
picture.
and then maybe run out bottom rather than.
We'll make a loop around and.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if, also all of the walls downstairs are sheetrock, so you can't see if there's any damage being done to the concrete behind the sheetrock.
Right.
No,
But the
it was-
water is
but if it
pooling,
was
like,
leak-
right in that
If it was
place.
leaking there, it would come too with it.
It's where the valleys come together, so it just, when it
It's rusty.
rains, it overshoots the gutter.
Yeah.
But whatever the
Last
drainage
two or
is,
three
is
So you know, what she's worried about, I think, is the
is the
drainage,
drainage going.
whether we may have to put some tiling down, and go around the side of the building to get rid of the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Still-
but it's a matter of the gutter's not catching the water.
Is
That's
it
why
a
last-
splash guard on it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, they made.
Yeah.
But I know like our house, on the back, we put that bedroom, this would be like that, and put everything in around, ran up pipes ready for it. First rain we had was a heavy rain, shoots out 3 feet.
Yeah,
Those gutters are running out the hill of beans. Unless there's a very light trickle.
not on a valley like that when
Yeah.
it pours like it did today.
You know, like it did today and Thursday, it just.
That was weird, that came through noontime, was it?
I was on the golf course.
Today.
I was on the,
Was it today?
I was up near Raymond's on the tractor, bush hogging, and I'm like, boy, this doesn't look good either, I gotta get this thing headed down.
I was racing to the community center on my motorcycle to try to killing me.
Damn kids.
So would the select board like me to look into quotes for the floor and the gutter?
I get quotes for the floor, and I guess I would check on about what we, maybe Jimmy knows guys know what there is for drainage around the front of the building. And that sounds to me more like a drainage problem, if it runs over and then it
Yeah.
pools up in that
Yeah,
bed
you
of,
don't want it to crowd the concrete in the basement.
why, or moisture causes
Yeah.
to work against it. Cause it was pretty dry, I remember we checked that long before I put that sheetrock all up down there, made sure that there wasn't, cause there was over in that corner where the pipes came through the wall, we had to seal it up.
I can check in to see what the drainage is on this building.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Jimmy and those guys had a rough idea, cause they worked on that, or Mo may have.
Okay. And then also I'll get the floor in my office cleaned up. So, similarly, the common school has an $8,000 allotment for, upkeep, and I know that there are some projects that they would like to see get done. The floor, for example, in the downstairs is really rough and it needs to be refinished. There are just a few, I think that Tori has a list of things that he'd like to see done. I don't know if that's something you would like to consider or if we should
I
just,
think we're gonna work on the energy audit and move slow with that, right?
so,
Yeah, because we're way over on the heat already.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
We may be using that money to help eat it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And then, all the way through, so the community center, so we have a grant writer who I'm putting together an advertisement for. I'd like to get that out this week.
So the packet done, did he
Pat
resign?
retired, yeah, resigned in the last meeting, or the meeting before. So I'm putting together an ad for a new grant writer. There have been questions about, so none of the partners who are involved with the grant writer, the library, the community center, and us, there's an appropriation, call it, in their budget. So the question came up at one of the meetings that I was at, do we, for example, the library hasn't paid for the grant writer, they haven't given that money to the town
This year,
this year. But, and they also don't foresee that they're going to need any more for any other grants. They've already met their goal for the grants this year and are managing a few. And they're not sure that they should have to pay for their contribution to the grant writer's salary for this year. And I told them that I would come to you and ask what your thoughts on that are.
well, if they decide in the future they want it, they're gonna have to buy in.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't wanna pay this year, it doesn't mean next year you're gonna be included in it. It's my thought.
Right.
You can't choose,
But
in my mind, you can't choose a year you wanna use a grant writer, and a year you don't wanna use a grant writer, and you're either in or out.
So they requested that he look into and write 2 grants, and he missed those deadlines.
Yeah.
So it's not that they didn't want to, it's that he didn't,
Right, none of us have gotten anything this year
Yeah.
out of it.
right, at all,
And how much money have you received this year?
nothing at this point.
So there must be money in there from the budgeting
At
process.
least our budget.
In
There's,
our budget.
yeah,
Nobody
there's,
else is paid, she said.
nobody's
Community
paid,
center hasn't paid.
nobody's paid in yet.
He's basically done nothing, and he said when he came in, you know, I did a few little things here and there.
Yeah.
He's not gonna submit a bill, it just,
Right.
life didn't turn out to be what he expected.
And by the time you put an ad in and get somebody lined up, you're gonna be at least September, October, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, first of the year.
Right. You could actually do it, so you started it first of our budget year.
Get it out, see, feel it out, see what's there.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll worry about it at that point.
Okay. So that's really those are the only updates I have on the budget at this point. We're still, if you go all the way to the back, we're still in good shape. We're 54% of the budget. Bottom line, we spent 54%.
As of July first.
As of, what do you think that is? Yeah, this is very recent, as of July 22nd.
Second.
That includes this payroll.
What, sorry?
That includes this?
No,
These
it
haven't
doesn't, it
posted
doesn't
yet.
include this AP or payroll. So any other comments or questions about budgets?
I think this is very helpful.
Yeah, just seeing it once in a while, keep our hands on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring you one every.
This way
once
here,
a
we
month.
won't get bright ideas and realize we don't have money.
When that paving gets this and stuff,
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't change it significantly.
And the last note is that, there's a community leadership summit that I'd like to go to. I emailed, those who have emails. It's, free for one leader at each community. The normal cost is $50. It's in Randolph, from the Vermont Council on Rural Development on the 10th. And I think it's a good time, in terms of timing. I was planning on taking a couple days off that week because it seems like the workflow will accommodate that kind of thing. So I was just curious, your thoughts.
What kind of agenda is there?
It's all about community leadership. So the breakout sessions are things like leading through uncertainty, implementing strategies for community engagement, raising money, fundraising for community projects, effective community communications, building bridges, fostering engagement.
It's just with Paul Costello.
Yeah, Paul has moved on now, right, so
Oh,
he's
he's
his
out of there.
successor, yeah.
I think it sounds really like a great conference, actually. It seems, and it's free to one person in the community.
And where's it?
It's in Randolph.
don't have a problem with it, I don't know about you
Yeah.
folks.
No, I
That's
think
good.
it's a good thing.
Network.
And that's really it for me. And we're plugging away on the road projects really, when it comes down to it, and communicating with lawyers and all the back end stuff for that.
Quick question for you on these. The UMA is just the phone system.
This is the
for
phone system.
using it.
Is there any other questions for Administrator?
How do we do, you need to open a bank account for something?
We already
else
opened
meeting?
it, and Amanda and I are signing tomorrow for, the bank, well, I'm not sure if you, this is what you're meaning, but there was a requirement for the pavilion account,
Right.
to have a separate account. It's open, it's ready to be signed and approved by Amanda and I tomorrow. And the grant anticipation loan is also going to be signed tomorrow. So that's, again, so that we have money to spend on the Jouer Road project. It's $600,000. And we expect, I mean, I'm expecting them to probably start invoicing in August, so
And when's the reimbursement?
when FEMA
Could
begins to do out. Jonathan said that FEMA is taking it 6 months to a year to close out their
Yeah.
grants. So that means once we submit it to them,
Right.
that's how long it takes.
So you can't submit that as you go, right? It's gotta be one
It's
completed
one
form.
big
It's
package.
gotta be all complete.
Yeah, inspected, signed off.
Yeah.
Okay, so update on Fairfield Pond Dam. It's,
Yeah, just one more thing. for
Yeah, go ahead.
You don't need to print one for everybody, can you just bring one of these to the next meeting?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Save paper.
Sure, the only difference is gonna be that this AP and payroll is in there. So, I mean, I can do that, it's a good summary.
Yeah, okay.
I can do that.
Okay, so, based on your permission, select board's formal permission, I did call the Village of Swanton President Neil Spear. Great guy, talked to him a couple times. Dave's been over there, probably Ron's been over there, but, shortly after I called them, they dispatched a crew, the problem was resolved. They have no interest in the pipe ends at the RAL. They used to draw their water back in the day. They have no interest going forward on any water. Neil's words were, it's our obligation to keep the Fairfield Pond at the prescribed level, no higher than the dam. That's what we, I don't know the history, but he said, that's our responsibility. They resolved it that day. He was apologetic that, things had kinda, gotten out of hand or got a little behind. or-
Gone sideways.
Yeah, something, gone sideways, yeah, let's just say that, that's a good word. He was intrigued with some solutions that might be less maintenance, that were applied technology, and we said we'd talk about it. I am gonna make a motion that we go in executive session to discuss real estate,
Okay.
and, but that was pretty much, he just acknowledged it, that's their responsibility. They fixed it that day, they're gonna keep an eye on it, and we discussed a couple other possibilities. But it was like an informal, they're meeting tonight, and, I told Neil I would give an update, to you all, and, that's about it. And I'd like to go in executive session when it's appropriate.
Okay, well, we'll do that after. Is there anything else? Any other business you wanna conduct for me?
Want to approve the minutes?
Yep, we can.
The minutes were already done,
The
of the warrant.
warrants, yeah.
Warrants. Let's make a motion to approve those.
Yeah, someone second that?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? I guess that's a done deal.
Speaking of real estate, the piece over in East Fairfield, is that all closed up? We own that, it's done with now?
The piece,
Yeah, going out of East Fairfield on, was it Sherman Street?
All that little 2 or 3 acre
Yeah.
parcel.
oh geez, I don't know anything about
I think Linda was briefing that, right? The tax.
it.
No, the tax sale's in the village.
Oh, the tax sale you're talking about.
No, the piece of
No, this
land
is
that
a piece
somebody
of-
left us.
Donated to the town.
Yeah.
Interesting, okay. So your question specifically is about that?
Yeah,
Was
is
a
it just,
transaction
is
ever
the
completed?
transaction done, completed, or?
It's news to me, so I'll have to find out. That would
Jonathan
be
would know about that, he must have started that process.
Yeah.
We're gonna get that, some of Bakersfield's, they're gonna donate it all to town. It's
Okay.
right there behind the
Right-
water.
Right behind the
Watershed,
building.
that knob right
Yeah,
there.
wow, that's great.
What is it, what was it, 2 or 3 acres?
Yeah, it wasn't
Or
very
five,
much.
less than 5, I think.
Yeah.
I was gonna go, see what the cabin looked like before the leave.
I don't think there's much there. I don't think there's much left to it, Tom.
Maybe I'll do that, be a good,
Yeah, field trip.
afternoon outing, field trip for the
Yeah.
kids.
Do a little fishing up the
Yeah.
creek, up the brook.
So I'll find out about the transaction. So this is through Bakersfield?
No.
No, individual
Talk to
person.
Jonathan about it.
Send Jonathan an
Right.
email, ask him where to look, and
Yeah.
check.
person
I just wanna make
donated.
sure it didn't get dropped between us and the
Right.
lawyer
Yeah,
and drag it on.
Some estate, they didn't want it, and they gave it to the town.
yeah, they didn't wanna pay taxes on it any longer.
I don't think they did.
Okay. I'll find out.
Okay, is there anything else?
I think so.
Do you have anything, Melissa?
No.
Okay. Well, I guess we need a motion to go into executive session for real estate.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, someone second?
No, second.
No?